Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Let's be honest, even after plenty of updates since Caldera and the whole Vanguard integration was introduced into Warzone, the current state of Warzone is still pretty rough. Like, Warzone is definitely indeed still down bad, as they would say. And today I wanted to talk about a handful of things that could honestly at this point save Warzone. It is sort of in this downward snowball right now just because it's getting updates, but they're not all the updates that we need to see, right? There's definitely some priority updates that should be on the list, and it seems like thus far, despite seeing a lot of updates go live, some of them still have not been implemented or updated yet. So as we go over everything today, if you enjoy the video at any point or if you agree with the points I'm bringing up, let me know by dropping a like on it. It does help share the video around. You never know if we can have that positive impact on the game, which is the end goal, obviously. And of course, if you're new to the channel or if you have not already subscribed, every single day I got you covered with all things going on in COD, news, updates, loadouts, tips. It is all right here. So feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on. Hey everyone, wanted to take a quick moment to essentially announce a brand new product from Gamer Advantage. Every single face cam video, you guys see me running the Gamer Advantage glasses. I love these things, and they are turning up the heat once again with a brand new lens. What you guys are seeing right now is their brand new totally clear lens. It still is going to block blue light. It's still going to be great for you in general, but now it is totally clear. They're calling this the suppressor lens. So now they're going to have the suppressor and the sleeper. Both are going to still block blue light. The sleeper is going to do it a little bit more, but it's going to have that slight little tint to it. The suppressor here is still going to keep your eyes safe, still going to let you sleep a little bit better at night, but totally clear, has less of that sort of gamer glasses look to it. I love it. If you're, just casually watching videos, playing some games here and there, these are the perfect lens for you. If you're hardcore grinding camos, grinding new updates, whatever the case may be, maybe you want to go for the sleeper look, both are awesome. If you guys want to get a pair for yourself, as always, WhosImmortal has you covered. So first and foremost, before I get into like the nitty gritty and like the very specific features and details of the game that I think should be adjusted to improve the overall quality of life and gameplay experience, there is one thing I have to bring up in a video like this that honestly is very disappointing that it's still a topic of conversation after so long. Console needs to be playable. I think since December, early December, I want to say like the 9th or 10th is when the first initial console issue arose on the Warzone Trello board. And even though it's been that long in time and we've seen countless updates go live since then, console, both PlayStation and Xbox, current gen, old gen, it all has so many issues. So before we start talking about things like gameplay changes, I feel like it's weird to not mention, hey, console still has borderline unplayable issues and they need to get fixed first, because what is the point of making changes to gameplay if the vast majority of the player base can actually experience those? That's one thing I think is very weird, because recently Raven's been talking about other gameplay adjustments, things like the cache adjustments, the ADS time adjustments and whatnot. And I get while those are different teams working on those things versus the team that's, working to fix console and all the QA and whatnot. It just seems weird to have gameplay changes going on when, like I said, so many players, the vast majority of your player base that's on console, can't even actually experience games smoothly in any way. So in order to save Warzone, console absolutely has to be able to actually play the game. So that should be priority number one, in my opinion, above everything else. Now, moving into actual gameplay changes, the first thing I want to bring up here is basically the gameplay rule set of what Battle Royale is now. Now, obviously, we've got two different core Battle Royale modes. We've got normal Battle Royale, and we've got Vanguard Battle Royale. Now, over the course of Caldera being live, at first I wasn't really a huge fan of Vanguard Royale. I wasn't a big fan of the planes and whatnot. And even now, I'm still not a fan that the mode literally limits you to what you can use and, actually play with in game. I think it's cool that, yeah, we want to promote the Vanguard weapons and whatnot, but not being able to use any of the paid for operators or paid for blueprints from Modern Warfare or Cold War's history is kind of annoying when the rules set in Vanguard is so much better than in normal Battle Royale, right? So basically, if you're unfamiliar, if you haven't spent much time in Vanguard BR, the zones move quicker, aka the pacing of the entire game is so much faster. Players are forced to move more. There is more action. It's more frequent. I love the pacing of Vanguard Battle Royale. And then you go to normal Battle Royale, and it is a snooze fest for the vast majority of the game. The first zone takes way longer to come in. I think it's a couple extra minutes in normal BR versus in Vanguard, meaning it takes way longer for players to get their first initial loadout, so everyone's camping, waiting for that. There's no action. And then you also don't have like all the little in-game events that Vanguard Battle Royale has either, with the fire sale, which also encourages moving to that buy and getting your self revives, getting your UAVs, and forcing gameplay to be more fast-paced and hectic, right? You don't have that. You don't necessarily have the frequent jailbreaks or the restocks. You also don't have the guaranteed second loadout in normal Battle Royale, either in Zone 5 or Zone 6, so that makes regains next to impossible if you're dying late game, but then you actually win a gulag and come back. Like, the rule set of Vanguard Battle Royale is perfect, minus the fact you can't use your Cold War and your Modern Warfare stuff. So I feel like the rule set should change in normal Battle Royale. And sort of piggybacking off of that, yes, of course, we got to talk the loadout revert. It needs to happen, in my opinion, because that is what makes Warzone Warzone. Yeah, cool. Using ground loot gives everyone sort of that balanced RNG aspect of a battle royale. But if I wanted to play a generic battle royale, I'd go play Fortnite or Super People or this, that, or the 9 million other battle royales out there now. What Warzone has going for it is the loadouts, and limiting those and making them, so late into that first zone just means the pace of gameplay is boring. It's slow. Everyone is sitting around waiting. There's no action. Then because there's only that one guaranteed loadout, it's not a fun pace at all, especially when you consider it's now on Caldera, which already has a slower pacing than Verdansk. So it's just a lose-lose situation there. At least experiment with it. I'm not really a big fan of the fact that Raven so far has basically said they're listening to feedback, but they don't want to experiment with things, Even if they don't fully agree that the loadout change should be reverted, try it for a week and see how players react to it. See if you've got more players on this map now versus Rebirth, where everything's normal and no one's complaining about the pace of gameplay, right? So just something to consider. I feel like the loadout revert would be a massive benefit to the quality and experience of Battle Royale right now. Now, I also want to talk vehicles. These are things that I definitely feel like need to be adjusted as well in order to improve the quality of gameplay, specifically Vanguard vehicles. Most of them I feel like need significant buffs. One of them I feel like needs a partial nerf, the planes in solos. Let's talk about this. I believe back on Verdansk, helicopters were removed from solos because they were such a crutch, and if you got a helicopter, it was basically free kills. It was so easy to maneuver and, pick off players. So they removed helicopters to give a more fair and balanced gameplay aspect, right? Well, now on Vanguard and Vanguard Royale, if there's Vanguard solos, it basically comes down to whoever gets a plane and knows how to fly it into late game is probably going to win that match. For instance, I have played one solo game of Vanguard Royale on Caldera, or one solo game on Caldera in general. I am 1 for 1 with a 20 KD in solos because I landed on a plane and I flew it around all match. It's so easy to pick people off because it's one and done unless they get a self, and if that's the case, you do another flyby and they're done for the game. It's so easy to win with the plane. It is unbelievably overpowered. So I feel like the planes probably should be removed in solos. Then when it comes to the other Vanguard vehicles, man, they need some buffs. You look at the SUVs from, Modern Warfare, Cold War, the Rovers, the bike, even the Bertha. It's so easy to drive those. They're smooth. They feel natural. They don't get stuck on tiny little shrubs. They're decently, fast. And then you get into a Vanguard vehicle and it is just miserable. They are so difficult to drive. The turning is weird. They run into everything and get stuck. I do like the fact that they can't flip over. As someone who is terrible at driving, I love the fact that I can jump off a cliff with one in some Fast and Furious action and not flip over every time like I would in an SUV on Verdansk. But outside of that, the Vanguard vehicles suck. Minus the planes and solos, obviously. So the Vanguard vehicles mainly need buffs, and I feel like the planes and solos need to be removed in order to make the general experience in all modes there a little bit more enjoyable. And then finally, something that we've talked about time and time again, the stupid gas mask animation. I do feel like it's a bit of a slap in the face because going into Caldera and the Pacific update, they made a specific point saying, hey, we're changing the gas mask animation so it doesn't mess with you as much and it makes it a lot easier to engage and it's not going to screw you over as much in gunfights. Except what they changed is that it's not going to interrupt your reloads. And then I believe it also won't interrupt you if you're plating, which, hey, that's nice. I like that. That's a step forward, but it still interrupts you when you're parachuting. It can still destroy you there if you get that unlucky timing, or when you're shooting, most importantly. I don't know how many times I've been ADS'd on an enemy that I'm trying to fight as we're both rotating in out of gas, and suddenly mid-gunfight, I'm pulling out my gas mask and I die because my hip fire doesn't hit. This could so easily be fixed by just adding in a toggle button. I believe the main general consensus is that, hey, no one's really using the burst fire or the burst mode aspect of the basically left on the D-pad as like that toggle button. What if we just switch that to whenever you pick up a gas mask, you can toggle it on or off as you please. It would allow for so much more smart plays in gas. You could really use that to your advantage and be smart about that. Obviously, there'd have to be limits in place to how you could abuse staying in zone for too long, but as far as the animation interrupting you goes, that's such a simple and easy fix that I feel like would improve so many fights on both sides. It makes them more competitive and really shows, hey, this person played smarter with the zone coming in with their mask and with their gunfight than this person who just got lucky with all their hip fire missing because their mask was interrupting their gunfight there. So that's the last thing I wanted to bring up there, just because it's so frustrating to run into. But those are a handful of things that I think could really improve the quality of Warzone right now. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, if you have any alternative or additional ideas to some of the stuff that I brought up here. But all that said, that's going to wrap things up for today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, or if you agree with these points, let me know by dropping a like on it. It would be seriously appreciated. It does really help share the video around. And of course, if you're new here or if you have not already subscribed, every single day I am covering everything going on in COD. News, updates, loadouts, tips, you'll find it all right here. So feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on. As always, if you want to check out any of my partners, be sure to use code IMMORTAL for a discount on all Scuff, G Fuel, Gamer Advantage, and Control Freak products. The links for all those can be found down in the description below. But once again, thanks so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.